Hello and welcome to the Cinemadome podcast. I think this is episode number 5 now, I want to say. And today we're going to be looking at two Aki Kaurismaki films, Shadows in Paradise and The Match Factory Girl. I hope I'm saying his name right because it's like I
Yeah, I
have
was
no
gonna ask.
way to verify that, but from what I've heard, it's Aki Kaurismaki. But
I was gonna
it's
ask you
not.
how to pronounce it, but because
I
I
think
have no
that's
idea.
how. I'm pretty sure that's how.
All right,
But I'm
I'll
sure.
trust you. It sounds right.
Yeah, I know Finnish names are pretty hard. I've been trying to um I've been trying to learn how to pronounce a few, even to say some of the characters' names from these two
Yeah.
movies. So yeah, so I'm sure I'm messing it up somewhere along the way. But that director, he's an amazing director. I love everything I've seen by him. I love. I
Me
or
too.
or
Just
what
based off these.
Yeah, because you've just seen these two, huh? Well, these are
Yeah.
good places to start, to be honest.
Yeah.
I've seen some of his newer stuff as well,
Mhm.
and some of his other stuff that he made back in the 80s and 90s. But I've also seen like his most recent films as well, and they're pretty much the exact same style, just like slightly updated. But he still has the same sense of humor, the same timing, the same sensibility, like everything. And not I'm sorry, I guess this is where we're gonna start. But he I don't fucking care. Like this dude's style has 1000% influenced American independent filmmakers.
Yeah, I was gonna say it feels like Jim Jarmusch and Vin Vendors.
Yeah, he's like that's another, him and Jim Jarmusch are good friends.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Um
that makes sense.
yeah, well, you've seen Night on Earth, right?
Hmm.
The lead actor
Oh, I knew he looked familiar.
yeah, he's in
Yeah.
Night on
Okay.
Earth.
Okay. Cool.
Actually, a few actors from, I think, I want to say like his best friend in Shadows in Paradise, the guy
Hmm.
who like he meets in prison or in jail. I think he's in Night on Earth too, but I could be wrong.
I don't
But
remember, but
definitely. And then Jim Jarmusch is in Aki Kaurismaki's film Leningrad Cowboys Go America, which
I
is,
heard that somewhere. I want to watch
yeah,
that one.
yeah. I think he
I need to
plays
do
like
that.
I think he's like a restaurant guy or something, like a waiter. But
Interesting.
something like that. Maybe I'm getting that mixed up, but he's definitely in the movie. Uh, I don't know, man. Like I look at this guy's style, and I mean, I thought this from the very first time I ever watched a movie of his. This is like his timing and everything. It's kind of a lot of the groundworks for modern, like every modern independent comedy, romantic comedy, awkward romantic comedy feels like it took a little bit of his sensibility. Now, I
Yeah.
don't know if that's true, but
I don't know if they go quite as dark as him, but
yeah. Like, but I definitely feel a bit of his
for sure.
influence in modern American independent films.
Absolutely.
So I guess that's where we should start, which is kind of a big thing to start at. But well, I guess let's start with Shadows in Paradise,
Okay.
since that's the earlier film. And I knew this, but I don't know if you knew this. Did you know that these two movies are actually part of a trilogy?
The Proletariat Trilogy?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that on the Criterion channel. What's the middle one?
It's a movie called Ariel, which is on
Okay.
Criterion Channel as well. I've seen it. It's a lot like Shadows in Paradise, except
Sweet.
it's not like a romantic. There's no romantic angle to it. It's more like if the lead character of Shadows in Paradise just like went and did his own thing. I don't believe there's a romantic angle to it. At least it's been at least 2 years since I've seen it, but it's also
I'll
very
have to
hilarious.
watch that.
It's still got his sense of
I'm excited.
humor, his dry sense of
Yeah,
humor, dark sense of humor at times.
because I love this movie. So
Yeah, you did? Really? Yeah, tell me
I
your
like that's from
thoughts.
um I was thinking the whole time we already talked about you already kind of touched on this, but I was thinking it felt like a Jim Jarmusch film if it was written by Paul Schrader.
That's great. I
And I don't know, Paul Schrader's just been on my mind a lot recently. I mean, you know why, so that might be part of it. But But no, I really loved it. I think out of the two, this was definitely my favorite. It was very uncomfortable, but also kind of adorable. But I loved it. Yeah.
Man, that's great to hear because it's I feel like I've tried to sing this movie's praises for so long to so many people, and you're kind of the first one to actually take the chance and watch it and give me your thoughts. And I don't know why, because it's such
I
a
don't
good
know.
fucking film, and
It's short too.
it's like 75 minutes
All
long.
movies should be 75 minutes long.
Kind of agree. Kind of agree. And Aki Kaurismaki is definitely a director who is conservative with time because
Hell yeah.
most of his movies are like below 90 minutes. I mean, the fucking Match Factory Girl is literally 68 minutes long.
Yep.
So it's like,
Before anyone says anything in the comments, we're joking. Not every movie should
yeah,
be like this.
yeah, exactly.
So
The
shut up.
Godfather shouldn't be 72 minutes long, but it's like, but
The
there's
Godfather 3 should.
yeah, yeah, maybe The Godfather Part 3. But like there is something amazing about how much he can put into such little
For sure.
runtime. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, I agree.
Like that's really interesting that you say that about how it feels like a Jim Jarmusch film written by Paul Schrader because it definitely has the sensibilities of a Jim Jarmusch film. Like
Hmm.
the
Especially his early stuff.
yes, exactly. Like the Down by Law, the Stranger Than Paradise. Like it definitely
Yeah.
has that feeling of, you know, monotony and deadpan humor and like super dry humor.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
and you
That was
know,
my favorite part.
yeah, and like really plain, blatant dialogue
Hmm.
and long pauses and awkward exchanges. Like they both have that completely in common.
Yep.
It's like Aki Kaurismaki takes it up a notch, though, in my opinion. Like he he goes even more dry, even more like
Yeah.
even more like awkward. Like
Yeah, I agree.
he'll have whole scenes where it's like each character saying one word at a time to each other, and it's just fucking gold. Like it's just like
It's
you know what I mean?
yeah, it's the most depressing but also hilarious movie I've ever seen.
It is so
Because
depressing too.
it's miserable.
It's seriously miserable because the characters are miserable and they're all
Yeah,
separate ways. Like they're really great characters. I like they're I and
they
it's
are.
um well I think I've seen Shadows in Paradise like 6 times now.
Damn.
Um and every time I watch it I really do like learn something new about the characters individually
Hmm.
because it's like they're I think this goes back to a note I had. It's like they're both self-destructive in their own ways.
Yeah.
Like Nikander, the man, is he's an alcoholic. He's an abusive drunk or whatever you. I don't mean he's out. He's a fucking he's off the rails in a
It's
lot.
Travis Bickle.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where
Like
the Paul
he's
Schrader thing came from.
there you go. See now that makes a lot of sense. A self-destructive character. If this film was purely about him, this would totally be written by Paul Schrader.
Yeah.
You know what I
It's
mean?
about a guy that gets obsessed with a woman and then ruins his life because of it. Yeah, it's totally.
That's one angle. But like he's so self-destructive, so blatantly self-destructive. But
Yeah.
and I think this is how I pronounce her name. Iona is she's like self-destructive in the way that she almost she almost wants more than she can have. Like
Yeah.
she's not happy with a Nick Kander, even though he loves her. You know what I'm saying? And even
Yeah.
though she likes him, like
She's not happy with the one guy at the end either, though.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Like she's not happy, and she's not happy at her
Yeah.
job, and she wants a little bit more.
Yeah.
And it's almost self-destructive because it's like she's I mean she could be having what could be happiness in a way,
Yeah.
you know. So
Absolutely.
I that's something I really didn't pick up on as much until like maybe the second or third time I watched the movie was like they're both pretty self-destructive,
Hmm.
and in a way the movie is really talking about self-destructive behavior in a way.
Absolutely.
I mean, at least it's one of the things they're talking about. But I want to go So how did you pronounce what the trilogy is called?
Proletariat.
Yeah, do you know what that means?
Yeah, it's like in Marxism, there's the bourgeoisie and there's the proletariat. So
Right.
proletariat is like that's us. We're the working class.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
the bourgeois.
I just learned that definition.
Yeah, I love. I probably shouldn't say that on the podcast. Marxism interests me. Um,
There you go.
so I've read a bunch of Marx and like Marxist theory and stuff. But yeah, proletariat is the working class, bourgeoisie is the ruling class, and it's just about a bunch of working class people. So that's why it's the Proletariat Trilogy, I guess.
Yeah, because every
Yeah,
film is about working class people
yeah,
and
and their struggles.
their struggles. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I mean, I didn't know, like, I knew they were part of a trilogy, but I didn't know what that word meant, to be honest, until
yeah.
today. So when I looked that up, I was like, oh, that totally makes sense. All three of those films are about that. And this
I
is what
love
this
that
movie's
word.
about, you know?
Yeah, it is totally.
Um, what I guess what stood out to you most upon watching it first? Like, was it the cinematography? Was it the story, the characters, the editing, et cetera, et cetera?
Well, I feel like we already talked. The thing that stood out most to me was the humor, but since we already talked about that, I will say the cinematography because much like early Jarmusch, it was incredibly inspiring to me just in how in its simplicity. Because it is very simple. It's just like set the camera here and just let them do their thing, and then just repeat that. And it's very, very simple, but it's very effective and inspiring.
Yeah,
It's
it
not
is.
flashy at all.
No, it's not flashy, but it's like super good, like you just said. Like it's subtly good, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
Also, just I don't know very much about this shit, but the film stock they use is beautiful looking.
yeah, yeah, it is. And the colors, man. Like
Yeah, absolutely.
the colors of this movie are fucking great. Like
Yep.
I and the way they use colors too in their fashion choices, in like you know what it kind of reminds me of? It like Punch Drunk Love. You know what I
I
mean?
was thinking that too.
Yeah, like the color palettes and the way they use it and how it's so kind of blatant, but it
Yeah.
works. It really
If Punch
reminds
Drunk
me of,
Love wasn't, it was less sweet.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Punch
Uh,
Drunk Love combined with Death Wish.
yeah, it's kind of like that. Yeah, you're right. Um, but yeah, like when I think of this film and color and stuff, like the first thing I think of is blue for Nick Kander,
Yeah, me too.
yellow for Iona. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
and that's because the film really conveys those colors throughout and shows you it in such a beautiful way, and it's almost like it's not really subtle, but you don't really like, for me personally, like the colors are just really effective. That's all I can
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
And it's a very unique visual style. That
Also,
is,
the music kicks ass.
dude, the fucking, oh my god, Aki Kaurismaki's music is like
It
amazing. Like he,
is.
every film is so like,
That was also very Jarmushy.
yes, I'm
However,
telling you,
Jarmushy, Jarmushian, I don't know what to say.
yeah, Jarmushian, I don't know. They have to be like great friends and had to
Yeah,
really
they're
inspire each other because their styles are too similar,
for
you
sure.
know.
Yeah,
Um, the music does kick ass though.
it
Like
does.
Finnish music is something I'm gonna have to look into, man, because that's every song is like, yeah. And then when he uses American songs, it just punctuates it a little bit more. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like because you can actually, and another thing about the music. Sorry, I know I'm kind of getting ahead of
No,
myself.
I brought up the music because it's what I want to talk about. So I always talk about music in the show. You should expect this now.
Yeah, exactly. True. But I'm glad you brought up music because I forgot to write that down, and I fucking sure as shit wanted to talk about the music. Is like every song that plays completely relates to the story,
Yeah.
like what's going on. Like I think there's a part where it's right after Iona like kind of doesn't want to be with Nick Hander, or she kind of hints at that or whatever. Like it's a song about like, oh, my baby doesn't want me. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Every song, and it's kind of fucking hilarious in a way. It's such like a it's such a thing. It's such a thing. It's such a unique thing to this director because
Yeah.
I don't think many directors really do that. But like every movie I've seen by him, the music that plays really pertains to what's going on in the story in a
For sure.
humorous way.
Yeah, it's like salt on the wound.
Yeah, exactly. Salt.
Yeah,
But yeah, the fucking music kicks ass, dude. Like,
that's great. Yeah,
so good to listen to. It really hasn't, like, I really need to get into Finnish music because it has such a cool fucking sound.
it does.
How would you describe the sound? Like, it's
It sounds kind of like Western pop music, but like with more rock and roll sensibilities.
yeah,
Like I don't know, like 50s Western pop music, but like more lush.
yeah, it's a good way to describe it.
I guess I don't know. I'm bad at describing music.
No, I agree. Like, to me, it's like exactly what
It
you
was very
said.
Western though.
Yeah, yeah. To me, it's like exactly what you said, but with like a hint of like dark sensibility to
Oh yeah, there's like a weird melancholy edge to it.
it. Yeah.
It kind of like Chet Baker.
Yeah, yeah,
And like
exactly.
Chet Baker's like sad, sad. This is more funny, sad.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like weirdly funny. I don't know how to
Yeah,
describe
it's very funny.
it. But, yeah, man. And well, just to briefly jump ahead, I mean, the Match Factory Girl, it definitely doesn't have as much music as Shadows in Paradise, but the
Hmm.
music that it does have, it works just as well. And
Absolutely.
I this kind of goes to something from the director. Like, he he's really good at he's really good at correctly dictating the pace of each scene to where it's like it, every scene lasts just as long as it should. And I think that's especially true in Shadows in Paradise. Like, and maybe somebody will watch this movie and not get it, and not get the humor, and not get like the timing of some of the things. But like,
It took
for
me like 20 minutes to understand it was a comedy.
yeah, there you go. Like, you're probably like, Jesus, this is pretty abrupt at first. Like when his partner dies at the beginning, you know,
Yeah,
it
which
goes right over that scene.
which I didn't find funny on this watch, but I feel like going back to it now that I get the tone, I'm gonna find it hilarious.
I think you are, because I have found it more hilarious every time, because it happens right after they have a conversation where
Yeah,
he's like, oh, so you're starting a business. Will you join me? Will you join me in my
yeah,
business? I'd rather die. I'd rather die trying to make a business than behind the wheel of a garbage truck. And then the next
yeah.
scene he dies. Like, it's so
It's great.
dark
Yeah,
humor, but it's hilarious.
it is very. I'm
Oh,
excited to. I should have watched this earlier so I could have done that rewatch, but
no, dude, I'm really glad you liked that movie, because
I loved it. Yeah,
I really like, I love both movies, but Shadows in Paradise is legitimately like one of my top 10 favorite films, probably.
yeah. I added it to the Ethan canon,
Yeah, there you go, man.
the highest reward.
I'm very honored that I, you know, could have recommended this film,
Yeah.
man. Yeah. So should we move on to the Match Factory Girl, or is there any other last thoughts you have about Shadows of Paradise? Things we didn't talk about?
I don't think so. It's damn good.
Yeah.
Leave it at that.
Awesome. All right. Well, the Match Factory Girl.
Oh wait, I actually do have a question.
Yeah.
Is
Go
it out on Blu-ray?
ahead. Shadows in Paradise.
Yes.
Okay. So as far as I know, Criterion has released an Eclipse trilogy of the trilogy, but it's just
Okay.
on DVD, from what I know.
Oh, lame.
I think I read somewhere though that these movies are on Blu-ray in Finland. So
Oh, okay.
maybe one of these days we can get a region free Blu-ray player.
For our warehouse.
Yeah, exactly. We'll split the cost. But
Yes.
so so the Match Factory Girl, definitely a different film.
Oh yeah. Much
Definitely
less funny.
much less funny. Like, damn right dark in a lot of ways.
It reminded me of I'm gonna screw up the name. Never, rarely, sometimes.
Oh, see, that's interesting, because I didn't think about that, but now that you say it, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Which I need to rewatch that movie, so I could be just talking out of my ass, but it reminds me of how I remember it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like the feeling of it. They're both very
Yeah.
suffocating movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Um, Well, what was your
I like this a lot more though.
yeah? What was
Well,
your
not that I don't dislike the other one. That's just I like this more. Is what I'm saying.
yeah,
Yeah,
both good films.
yeah.
What was your experience watching this for the first time? Oh wait, and which one did you watch first, by the way? I forgot to ask
I
you that.
watched. Well, you know me. I gotta go in order. So I watched Shadows in Paradise first.
That's right. That's right. Okay, sweet.
But if I would have known that there was a second film in between this, then it's probably good I waited to the last minute because it would have taken me forever to watch all three.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyways, no, it's also great. A lot of it hit really hard for me. Like I could relate a lot to it. I won't get into why. You probably know why if you think about it, but I won't. I'm not going to divulge that publicly. Anyways, but a lot of it hit pretty hard. Um, like the instantly falling in love with people and then immediately having them like block you and shit, or like just take you out of their lives. Um, so yeah, I felt super hard for it. I gave it a slightly lower rating, but I think that's just because it was too devastating. Because I don't really know if I'm gonna want to watch it again. And I like depressing movies, but I don't. This one was a little bit too personal. So
I feel you. You know what? I can remember like watching this for the first time and having similar thoughts. Like
yeah,
this
it's
is
great
very
though.
personal. You
Yeah,
know? Um, I think you will like it more on second watch because when I watched it a second time, I liked it a ton more. The first time I
I
watched
liked
it,
it a lot. I want to get that straight though.
no, yeah. But the first time I personally watched it, I really liked it. Like I was like,
Yeah,
yeah, it's good. It's really good. But
hmm
I was kind of like you, where I was like, fuck, I don't know if I want to watch this again. Like this
yeah.
is depressing. Like fuck, it's so nihilistic and like just
There's no hope in it at all.
yeah. There's no hope. Like it's pretty much like every ounce of hope squeezed out. And
Whereas the last movie was kind of sweet.
yeah, exactly, very sweet. And
It
has a
was very sweet. It was just a really dark tone, but it was very sweet.
yeah, it has a happy ending. Shadows
Yeah,
of Paradise. Match Factory Girl, does it have a happy ending? I mean,
she did nothing wrong, if you ask
yeah,
me.
yeah, she did nothing wrong. It I don't know. Like it's, I think you'd have to stretch to say it has a happy ending because you'd have to be like, you'd have to. I mean, I guess she
They
got,
got theirs.
yeah, they got theirs, and she got out of her fucked up monotony. I
Yeah.
don't know. That's about it. But I I think I liked this movie a lot more on rewatch because I was just noticing more about it. Like I don't know, like when I first watched it. Well, first of all, this movie kind of purposely draws you into experiencing what she's experiencing.
Yeah.
The whole first 5 minutes is the match is being made and shit, and you're like,
Yeah.
fuck. You don't think about it till later, but you're like, fuck, this is what this character is seeing every day.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, this must get horrible, you know. But and just like but that kind of goes back to what I was saying. Like, Aki Kaurismaki, he really only lets a scene last as long as it needs to, but that can go both ways. Like for Shadows in Paradise, the editing is very like abrupt and like scenes end.
Snappy.
Yeah, it's like snippy. Like the scenes end right after a point is
Yeah.
made. But in the Match Factory Girl, it's like
Uncomfortably long.
yeah, it's like you're right. It's like totally uncomfortably long, and everything just feels super drawn out. But it brings you into the world.
You know what it reminded me of? And I'm gonna get so much shit for this.
Do it. What is
It
it?
reminded me of the Joker, but with a female. Just in
Yeah,
the sense, like it feels like the whole world's against this character, and then she just snaps. It reminded me of Joker, and I'm gonna get so much shit for that.
it makes a ton of sense though. I mean, it is the same basic premise, right?
Yeah,
This
I
feels
like
more like a
Joker.
Paul
So
Schrader film to me. Like this is
yeah,
like
Paul Schrader doesn't really write about women though.
that's true. That is true.
He mainly just writes about frustrated young men.
Yeah, that's true. If
But if it was about, sorry,
I'll say if Paula Schrader, I was kidding.
Paul Schrader, absolutely. It's like female incel,
Mhm.
which is my kind of shit. So
Yeah, man. It's yeah. Sorry, I think I cut off a point you were making.
I don't even remember what I was gonna say. It's all good.
My bad, dude.
It's all good.
Well, what
I
do we?
think we both cut each other off.
That's kind of the dangers of the Zoom meeting because it's like
Absolutely.
so hard to see when the other person is gonna, you know.
Yeah.
But what should we talk about? What should we dissect first about this movie? Should we dissect the cinematography first?
Yeah, I would say that's what stood out most to me again. And I was gonna say that like might be one of my only complaints is that I don't feel like much did stand out, and maybe that's the point because it's supposed to feel monotonous. But like I wasn't like left like I'm still thinking about Shadows in Paradise, but I don't think I'm going to be thinking about this film quite as much because I don't feel like it had as many layers. And again, I get that that's probably the point because it's supposed to feel monotonous, but it wasn't so monotonous that like if there was like if the beginning scene lasted 20 minutes, that's something I would remember.
Yeah.
Because that would be like, but I'm glad I didn't do that because I wasn't in the mood for that shit. But I'm not I am complaining, I guess, but I'm not trying to.
I
I'm a
completely
terrible
understand what you're
critic.
saying. No, I completely understand what you're saying. It's the Match Factory Girl is like, well, it
It's
kind of goes back to
multi-layered.
what we were saying with it. Like it's pretty much the most bare, stripped to the bone story. Like
Yeah.
it's why it's only 68 minutes. There isn't much to remember from it. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Other than just misery.
other than just fucking monotonous misery, but it's still really effective.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Like it I feel like this is a movie you don't really watch to have fun. Like
Oh no, I for sure.
this is a movie that just like it just it you know what it kind of reminds me of in a weird way. And I know we're
What?
like getting into like movie comparisons and people are probably going to be like you guys are fucking you guys comparing this to the most random ass movies. But you've seen Daisies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I
This
don't
kind
see the
of reminds
comparison
me
though.
okay, that was it. This kind of is like to me like the opposite of what Daisies does because Daisies is like it's like all about kind of the end like okay, this is why I say they're similar. And maybe this is a dumb point that I'm going to regret later. But I say they're similar because both movies in my eyes are about the end result. Like Daisies, it's fun. It's fun and enjoyable and you can have fun with it, but you don't really get the whole point of what you just watched till the very ending where they, you know, they do like the whole mic drop line and you kind of
Yeah.
realize, oh shit, this is kind of a political film. This is like kind of like a statement. So
Mm-hmm.
like in my eyes, the Match Factory Girl, it's you can get through it and it's enjoyable and in a way it's enjoyable. I guess it's not really enjoyable, but it's like it's interesting, but it's really the
I don't
like
know how to pronounce it, but it reminded me of this if you could see it.
I can't. Is
The
it?
movie, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's a very long name. It's just a woman that's like
Oh yes,
cooking and
it's the
cleaning.
Chantal Ackerman film, I think, where it's like
Yeah,
something 3 days, 30. It's like just like a 4 hour long film.
yeah. I don't
Yeah,
remember what it's called, but that's kind of, but that's what I was thinking of because you said like it's more of a statement, but I feel like it's not enough of a statement, whereas that is like a completely like dedicating itself to the statement.
see, I've never seen that. Is it good?
It's not enjoyable, but it's good.
See, that's kind of what I mean. Like this, in my eyes, is not very enjoyable, but it's good. You know?
Yeah,
Like,
no, I agree.
yeah,
I think that film was more effective though, just because it's of the length.
yeah. See, maybe
It's
that would.
driving the monotony home.
Yeah, maybe that would like drive. Maybe that would make this maybe a better film in a way if it was longer and you really got into it. But
Again, I want to stress I like this movie.
yeah, I do too. I really like it. I see. I'm kind of playing devil's advocate because, like, I mean, honestly, I gave this film like a 9 out of 10 upon rewatch. Whereas the first time I watched it, I gave it like a 7, I think, because I was like, yeah, it's good, but I was kind of thinking like, there's not enough. Like you said, kind of like there's not enough to pick up on or remember. Like I
Yeah.
didn't really think about this film for the past 2 years because I haven't seen it in like 2 years. So I didn't really think about it for like 2 years. I just remember the ending. Like I just remembered spoilers, her fucking killing her parents and the guy who knocked her up and stuff like that. Like
And
I
some
remember,
random guy at a bar.
yeah, some random guy. But I didn't remember like much about it outside of that. I remember it started in a match factory, like, and I remember the basic story, but like rewatching it, I was like, oh, like I remember like this particular face this character makes or something. Like I remembered a lot about it. Weirdly,
Yeah.
I didn't think I would. I didn't think I'd remember much about it. I don't know. I think it stuck with me more than I think in a way.
Yeah. I could see
Like,
that.
yeah,
I just now saw it, so I can't really comment, but
yeah. 2 years from now, we'll have to get your your reaction
for sure.
because I legitimately haven't seen this movie in 2 years. I think it's been a long ass time,
Yeah.
and it's so weird that I picked this film because it's not even my second favorite. Well, before this, it probably was not my second favorite Aki Kaurismaki film. So it's
What
really
is, out
weird
of
that I picked
curiosity?
this. Like I was like, why did I pick this?
What is
Maybe
your second favorite, out of curiosity?
well now it's the Match Factory Girl.
Oh,
The
okay.
film grew on me, but before this it was definitely yeah. Well, okay, it's tied because one of his newer films is called and I'm gonna butcher this. It's a place in France. I think Le Havre.
Yeah, I know which one. I know the poster.
Yeah, that one's really good. But a lot of his later films are actually very political, but in like a good way. Um, and yeah, and because they all kind of deal with like current political issues that are going on in
Hell yeah.
Europe. And oh, speaking of political, do you think the Match Factory Girl is political?
It's definitely talking about the patriarchy and like women's rights and stuff, but I don't think it really dives into it as incredibly deeply, and I kind of wish it went into it a bit more. But at the same time, now that I'm thinking about it, I kind of like that they didn't dive into it because that hammers the point home, because it wouldn't be as effective if it was like preaching to you, because it's like just showing you like the tribulations of a working class woman.
Mm-hmm.
So never mind. I take back what I said. It's great.
Well, you see, one thing I didn't notice upon watching it at first. Are we both drinking espresso? What are you drinking?
Yes, we are.
Well, I'm drinking
Espresso.
Americano, so well, it still has espresso. So,
Mm-hmm.
cheers. Um, this should be like our trademark.
Yeah, absolutely.
uh, what was I gonna say? Oh, one thing I didn't notice upon watching it, and I don't know how I didn't notice this, but like, there's quite a few scenes where it just shows the TV screen playing like political shit that's going on, like
Oh yeah.
like
I didn't
World
think
War.
about that till you said it, but that's
Yeah,
true.
I didn't think about that either when I first watched it, and then I watched it and I was like, huh. I wonder if this is like, I mean, like you said, the film definitely doesn't delve too deep into politics, but or things that are going on, atrocities, stuff like
Yeah.
that. But I do wonder if it's like if the intent of it was to be kind of a statement because
Yeah,
like
I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, I
yeah,
agree.
because the whole film is like it's not enjoyable. It's like it has to be a statement in a way.
For
Like it's
sure.
enjoyable, but it purposefully is like fucking squeezes every ounce of good out of you in a way.
Absolutely. No, I completely agree, but I feel like if they wanted to hammer it home, they should have again just made it longer.
Yeah, see,
Because
because
I don't really think having this breakneck pace, which I mean I know it's a slow movie, but like at 69 minutes or however long it is, it doesn't. And I'm used to long, slow movies, so maybe I'm like desensitized or something, but it doesn't. I don't know. I feel like it would have felt a lot worse if it was longer, and it feeling worse would be more effective. Like that movie that I can't pronounce that I was just talking about. Like that movie's super effective
yeah, I can totally
because
see what you mean.
yeah. Again, we keep talking about Paul Schrader, but he talks about the. It's because he's on my mind because I'm gonna start. Hopefully, I'll see a lecture of him. But hopefully, fingers crossed. Um, but he talks about people using boredom as a narrative device to like make you like to create a rest and like make you think. Like he talks about like Ozzy doing it a lot and Brisson and
Oh,
shit like that. So
yeah,
oh,
sorry, go ahead.
oh no, that's it. I was just gonna say it made me think of that. But
Brisson
I that
definitely uses it.
yeah, I need to see more Brisson films. I'm ashamed of myself.
You know what? I didn't really like. I kind of thought about this point right before we started the podcast because I read it somewhere.
Hmm.
But uh, Aki Kaurismaki is actually somewhat similar to Robert Bresson.
I could see that. They're both. I mean, I haven't seen much Bresson, but very minimalist and dark. They're much funnier though. Bresson's
Yeah,
very depressing, for lack of a better word.
yeah, he is.
And from what I hear, he only gets more depressing with each new movie.
Well, I'll tell you what, that from what I've seen, that has to be true because Pickpocket, which is one of his earlier films, is definitely depressing. But I just watched L'Argent, or however you say it, which is like made like 25 years later, much more fucking depressing and much more dark and still similar, but it like amped it up. So that
We need
has,
to do some Bresson soon because I need to catch up.
yeah, maybe after next episode I'll pick Pickpocket.
For sure. Okay, I'm down with that.
Yeah.
And we should. I know it's your pick, but that said, Wink, we should do a double feature of that and Diary of a Country Priest.
Fucking okay.
Because I gave you the link to it, so.
Yeah, we should. Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Man, I have all these links to
Pirated movies,
and I haven't yet to watch any. Okay, yeah. So after next,
it's Criterion's fault for not releasing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I would gladly buy the Blu-ray if I could.
Yeah, they really should do like a box set of Rob.
That's why I haven't bought any of his movies because I keep waiting for them to do that.
Yeah, I think they will eventually.
I do too because they're slowly putting them all out, right?
Yeah, they have Pickpocket. I think they have A Man Escaped.
They do.
Do they have
just put one out last month? I forget what it's called. It's about a child. I think it starts with an M or something.
I don't know. I know he did a Joan of Arc movie.
Yes, I remember because I was watching a documentary about Bresson and I saw that and I was like, he didn't direct this. What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh,
I kept thinking they were talking. Yeah, I was thinking of that. I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
You thought the documentary was just like, it's all like getting it wrong. That's
yeah.
Weird. They like misplaced him by like 80 years.
Yeah.
No, that's funny. Yeah. Well, I think I know what you're gonna pick next week, but I'll definitely the week after that.
No, you'll be surprised.
Will I?
Yeah, because I didn't email the guests. So
okay. Well, I'll be surprised.
So we'll wait 2 more weeks then. So
okay.
Sorry if you were looking forward to that.
I was, but I was also nervous about it because it's such a long movie that I have to carve out 4 hours.
All right, yeah, this will give us more time then.
Yeah. Okay, sweet. Yeah, so I'll be pleasantly surprised. But next week, like my next pick, or if that's the week after next, I'll Pickpocket, so that we can start.
And maybe Diary of a Country Priest.
And no, I'll say Diary of a Country Priest because I won't watch it unless I motivate myself to watch it. You know,
right, cool.
Like I want to watch it, but I'm so like, I feel like half the time I watch shit that I don't want to watch, as opposed to the shit that's been on my watch list for like months.
I feel the same way with my OCD shit. I just have to, like, before I watch any Bresson films, I like spent like 3 weeks trying to find like his early slapstick comedy that he made in like film school, and I couldn't find it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, his first short film was like a slapstick comedy.
That's hilarious. I had no idea.
I forget what it's called, but yeah. And
I gotta see that shit.
Good luck. I can't fucking find it. I've been looking forever.
Yeah, I don't.
I found like a VHS rip of it, but like you needed a password to download it.
That's sketchy.
Yeah, so like I don't know.
Well, yeah, he's a director that is super interesting.
And I want to read his book too. Notes on the Cinematograph.
Yeah, that would be. I want to read that.
In fact, maybe this is your episode, but you should do an assigned reading of that book because it's only like 90 pages.
Okay, maybe we could just do a Robert Bresson episode and watch whatever we can watch.
I like that idea.
Yeah, because that could be our first.
Spoiling the future, but yeah.
Yeah, let's just watch whatever we can watch because it'll motivate me. Because I've seen Pickpocket like 5 times now, so I can watch something new from him and
cool.
Still talk about Pickpocket.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Actually, that's so random. I never thought our first director that we like dissected would be Robert Bresson, but okay.
Honestly, he's been on my mind a lot recently.
Me too. Weirdly.
Yeah, I don't know why, because I've barely seen any of his movies, but I've just been thinking about him like all the time.
I think he really inspires me because it's like.
Yeah, me too.
Like it's just super simple, and it's kind of maybe why I like Aki Kaurismaki too, because his films are just super simple and like the cinematography is not flashy, like we said, and it's just super effective though.
And the performances are very like dialed down.
Yeah, and I know Paul Schrader loves Pickpocket.
Oh yeah,
It was like
he said that's what inspired him to make Taxi Driver.
yeah, exactly. So I know he's there's got to be something right. But yeah, Pickpocket's great. But anyways, we should get back on track.
Yeah, whatever. It's a podcast.
Yeah. Well,
and no one's listening.
hey, not true. We have
Do you know that?
subscribers. 6.
Do we? Wait, what?
We do. We have 6.
Oh, sweet. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I know
Are they all you?
No, they are not all me. They are people I and you know though. Or actually, I think there's like one person that we don't know. So, shout out to that person.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But no,
You're
like
my favorite.
most of our episodes have been getting at least a few likes and comments and stuff. So shout out to everybody who's watching and
support us on Patreon.
Support us on our non-existent Patreon, and
we'll set it up. You won't get any benefits though.
Yeah, do it. One of these days, maybe down the line.
So we could buy more Criterions.
That would be amazing. If you could have if you could have like a Patreon or like some type of side income, it doesn't even have to be Patreon, that would just solely fund your movie buying experience.
Do a GoFundMe.
I know, like, man, listen, I need at least 100 Criterions.
It's for research.
I need $2,000, guys. Like, can you help me out? At least $2,000, by the way.
Yes.
Because maybe a few of those are box sets. So I'm really in like 2,500. You know, GoFundMe.
Oh, yeah.
This is for research. Yeah, this is an investment. You know, you could sell Criterions later for.
We're businessmen.
Yeah, we're businessmen. You know, I could at least make my money back.
Yeah. Although I won't ever sell mine, but
no, I will never either. But I'm just saying, like, you know, if you could think of it, they're like any boutique Blu-ray you can sell later.
If I start selling my movies, that's how you know I've completely burned out on life.
I'll be like,
you should be very concerned.
What the fuck is going on, man?
Yeah.
Like, are you okay?
Yeah, you should be concerned if that happens.
Yeah, I agree, man.
If I sell movies or music, then
I know. I'm in for the long haul. I used to have the mentality of where like I would, sell shit to get better shit, but I'm not of that mentality. I'll get the shittiest shit and still want to keep it.
Yeah.
I'll have two of the shittiest shits and still want to keep both of them.
Like, for sure.
Like, I think I probably got like 2 copies of some shitty movies that I'll never let go.
This isn't a shitty movie. It just reminded me. You just bought Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and you're gonna get the Criterion, right?
Yeah, I was so mad at myself, but I'm gonna double up for sure. But it's I might as well have saved the $5 or whatever it costs for the regular.
Yeah. Fuck it.
But yeah, I'm definitely gonna buy that.
I'm stoked for that movie. I'm putting off watching it just because I want to watch it again when the Criterion comes out.
Oh really?
But I've been in the mood to watch it again.
Yeah,
mainly just because they announced it.
I could watch that movie like.
It's amazing.
Oh, dude! I honestly it's just like it's just a hangout movie. Fuck.
Oh yeah.
One of my go-to hangout movies, I would say.
I know we talked about this before, but it's by far Sean Penn's best performance. It's his masterpiece.
It's honestly the best performance out of a lot of those actors, to be honest.
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, I know Jennifer Jason Leigh's been in a lot of good stuff, and she's really she's actually really good in a lot of stuff, but like, I think she's pretty perfect in that movie.
Mm-hmm. Yo, I just remember. Sorry, keep talking.
Go ahead.
No, you say it. I'll finish it up. I'm grabbing it so I remember myself.
Judge Reynolds, great in that movie. I mean, it's a fucking great cast. We're gonna have to do an episode on that one day too.
Absolutely. But you know something else that they announced? And I didn't know they made this into a movie. So this is getting very inside because our listeners don't read our text messages, hopefully. But do you remember when I said I have this great idea for a movie about a circus?
Yeah, vaguely.
About a circus performer and a con man? What?
Yeah.
It's called Nightmare Alley, and they apparently adapted it to a movie in the 50s. I had no idea.
Nightmare Alley.
Yeah, I'm alone. I knew the book, and I wanted to adapt the book, but apparently they already did that, and it's coming to Criterion in May.
And the movie is old?
Yeah, Guillermo del Toro is doing a remake.
I was going to say, that's where I know it from, because, yeah, he's doing a remake of that movie.
Yeah, I was so pissed.
Wow.
Because I fucking love this book.
Man, that sucks. That's how it's like. You got to find the most obscure books these days to adapt, because everything's been fucking made into a movie somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
Or you just don't watch the movie and just make your own version and see what it's like, I guess. But
I've thought about that.
yeah.
I'll call it the Alley of Nightmares. Bad Dream Alley.
This is different, okay? This is the
Yeah.
Alley of Nightmares,
It's a
not Nightmare
carnival.
Alley. Guillermo del Toro, you asshole. No, I was
Yeah.
kidding.
It's
Man,
a carnival instead of a circus.
I really want to do a carnival movie one day too.
Yeah.
I really like Freaks.
Oh, Freaks is awesome.
Yeah, like that's a movie that really
You seen
inspired.
Funhouse?
No, is
Yeah,
that
it's great.
is it it's not Toby Hooper, but it's
It is Toby Hooper.
it is. He
Yeah.
directed that. Oh, okay,
It's a
cool.
Video Nasty by Toby Hooper.
Oh wow,
It's
awesome.
an awesome movie. It rocks.
I'm gonna have to borrow it if you own it. If not, I'll try to find it. But
For sure.
yeah, it's definitely been like on my list because I
I
know.
don't own it actually, but I plan on getting it soon.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, because I know I had a.
I'll have it by October.
Okay, well, fuck. We'll watch it in October. That'll be one of the movies I watch
Hell
in
yeah.
October. I know I had a friend
Yeah.
who owned it, and but I don't know why I never watched it.
It's great.
I mean, yeah, we got so many movies on our watch list. It's like
Yeah, this episode's all over the fucking place.
I don't care. I think it's our best episode yet. I think we were really precise in a way, like, or we were really free flowing.
Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted it to be like. So yeah, for sure. I'd
Like,
say either this or the first one because I don't know. I thought we did pretty good on Videodrome, surprisingly.
I think we did too. It's like well, I'll say like what I meant by precise is that we got all of our points across about the two movies that we are here to discuss, but we also let the conversation flow naturally into like other shit.
Yeah.
Which
Sorry.
if you listen to good podcasts, that's kind of what they do. They, they start out with certain topics and then they go on to other shit.
Sure. All right, should I announce the two movies?
Yeah, I'm super
All right.
excited.
They're two. I don't know if you've seen either of them. They're two completely different movies.
Okay.
So I don't know how to pronounce his name. Sorry. So forgive me. But Andrei Zulawski's Possession.
Oh, I've been wanting to watch that.
I have the Blu-ray obviously because I just showed it, but I also have like a download link.
Okay, sweet. Either or.
And Lawnmower Man.
I've been wanting to watch Lawnmower Man.
I don't know what made me decide. I kept going back and forth on what I wanted to pick. I was thinking Hunger by Steve McQueen because I'm watching that right now. It's on TV, but or I was watching it before the show started. But I don't know. I just decided those two.
Dude, I absolutely golden choices. Is that Lawnmower Man? Like, was that the Scream Factory?
Yes, it is. I got it.
I think I'm just gonna buy it then. I'm just gonna say fuck it and go for it. If because I'm trying to.
That or I could let you borrow it. I don't care.
Well, I'm trying to collect more Scream Factories, so I might as well. I've seen bits and pieces of that movie, and it looks
fucking weird,
fucking bad shit. But
it's insane.
I'm so excited to watch that. Honestly,
I love it.
Great fucking choices, man. I'm gonna have to write these down. So let me see.
There's two cuts of it. I don't know which cut I've seen though.
Of Lawnmower Man.
I'm gonna have to watch them both. Yeah, there's 140-minute director's cut.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen that one. I think I've seen the theatrical cut, which is like 100 minutes, but
man. Okay, sweet. Yeah.
I haven't watched it about the Blu-ray. I saw it like on TV or something.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, those great choices.
Pretty new for me too.
Great choices.
Yep. Two completely insane films.
Yeah, I've only seen like the cover of Possession and I've been like, wow, this looks amazing, but I don't know anything.
It's great. All right, don't look anything up about it then.
Okay. What is it? What country is it from?
Germany, I believe. I don't know where the director's from, but it takes place in Berlin.
Oh, okay. It's probably German then, yeah.
But I don't. Andrei Zulawski. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but that sounds Russian to me. Maybe I'm stereotyping the name Andrei.
It honestly sounds like a little more German. Yeah, I think because Andrei is such like a Russian name.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like if it was Russian, it would end in like a Lof or a Ofsky.
Maybe.
Like Tarkovsky. Never mind. Anyway. Yeah, well, great choices, man. I'm excited to do that episode. And hell, I think this might be our longest episode yet, to be honest. Or
also the one where you talked about the movies the least.
This
whatever. I think so.
I think we talked about.
We've just been talking about bullshit for like 40 minutes.
No, dude, I've been watching the clock. The last like
Okay.
15 minutes has been past the Match Factory Girl and Shadows in Paradise. The first like 35 minutes were about those movies.
Oh, okay. Well, good for us.
Yeah, but also we've been talking about other movies, which is good too. So
Yeah, we spent like 20 minutes on Bresson,
yeah, true.
which I think I might order his book like before the episode.
Yeah, I might do that too, honestly.
And yeah, it's pretty. It's like it shouldn't be much because I think it's like 90 pages.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, I think I could.
It's
Read.
just like his like manifesto, his philosophies on film.
That's interesting. That sounds.
It's
really
called Notes on the Cinematograph. I'll send you a link.
Yeah. Send me a link. Okay, man. Well, I'm super excited for next week's episode. I hope all of our viewers are as well. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Honestly, like we're really trying to to give you guys some entertainment and have fun, and really that's like really what it is we're just two guys who love movies and like talking them, like talking about them.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, all right, man. Well, good show, man. I'm excited for next week, like I said. So
I'm excited too, especially for the 140-minute cut of Lawnmower Man.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy because I'm gonna have to watch that too.
I'm gonna watch both cuts in preparation, but I'm especially excited for that cut.
Yeah. Well, I guess either or, if I buy it or if I just borrow it for you, I'll watch that.
Yeah, I recommend. Well, you want to borrow Possession too because it has a shit ton of bonus features that might help with the episode.
Yeah, I might have to because I guess I'll just borrow.
You can't lose it though. This is very rare.
I won't lose it. I promise.
I'm just kidding. Well, I mean, sort of. I'm kidding, but not really.
Kind of see the cover.
It's not showing up. There it is.
Oh, there it is. Cool.
It's very nice.
Yeah, that's totally different than the regular cover you always see.
Yeah, it's classy.
Special edition?
Yeah, there's an even specialer edition though that comes with like the soundtrack and shit.
Oh, nice.
It's like a digibook. Yeah.
Oh, okay, sweet.
I missed the boat on that, so I got the cheaper one, but whatever. I'm happy with it.
Okay.
Great movie.
All right, well, thank you, Cinemadome listeners, and we'll see you next week.
All right, bye.
Farewell.